When I was growing up, I always wanted to join the military, mostly special operations. Not so that I could go over and do what everyone else wants to do, bring the fight to the bad guy, but so that I could protect the people that are already there fighting, your brother in arms. I was in Special Forces for about 2 years, and what I really enjoyed about it is that I was able to train high-risk capture personnel on what they're going to do if something happens, mostly what they're going to be able to eat or how they're going to evac the area. After my career in Special Operations, I moved into the heavy equipment career field. It just seemed like a natural extension of what we've been doing before, so I was helping people survive before, and then this way I'd be able to help rebuild the communities that we'd been in, trying to help the people that were helping us. While I was in Southeast Asia, I was given the opportunity to work with a canine unit, so I went over there to help, and I helped them rebuild their kennels for their canine unit, as well as a training site. And while I was there, they were also nice enough to teach me some of the skills of training the canine units. I was noticed that the healthcare was a little bit different than the healthcare that I was able to receive. There was always a doctor around if I ever needed anything. It didn't matter what it was. But the canine unit, if anything ever happened, they always had to be flown to another location, or a veterinarian was actually flown into location. So I decided at that time that it was time for me to go back to vet school. So I'd be able to do both my passions. I'd be able to serve in the military helping my fellow members, and I'd be able to work with the animals. I'm currently serving in the North Carolina Air National Guard over in Charlotte, and I work 1 weekend a month, 2 weekends a year with them, and then during the normal week I actually go to North Carolina State University. My wife and I have 3 children. We have 2 girls and a boy. The boy is the youngest. Our schedule is really hectic. Usually when I come home from school, we get to hang out, we get to do their homework just like any other family would do. About 9 o'clock they try to go to bed. That way I can start my homework, because usually I'll be up till about 2 in the morning before I can go to sleep. It still wouldn't be possible without my wife, who actually gets the other side of the shift. So while I'm doing classes or anything else, she'll be at home. But while she's at work, I'll be at home. So it's kind of a sacrifice now, but we decided it in the past so that hopefully we can have a better future. In my opinion, programs like the scholarship to help support veterans is great, because it gives us the opportunity to come back from what we learned in the military and actually apply it. Without the help of Sport Clip's Help a Hero Scholarship, I wouldn't be able to continue on to veterinary school. So if I was not getting scholarships and grants from institutions that are willing to help me, I would never be able to volunteer the amount of time that I volunteer at the shelter. The amount of hours required to get into veterinary school just at North Carolina State is almost 400 hours, and no one's going to hire me with the amount of experience I have. Luckily, people help teach me, like the veterinarians over at the Wake County Animal Shelter. I started out working in the kennels and walking the dogs, and then I got to actually help clean up in the kennels. So I did receiving, which is when all the animals come into the shelter. And then after working with the intake team, I actually moved on to the veterinary team, who does all the healthcare for the animals. I would like to thank all those that participated in the Sport Clips Help a Hero Scholarship, and I would like to say thank you for helping me to achieve my dream to become a veterinarian.